again, welcome to our Mentoring Rendezvous learning session for today, brought to us by the ILOWAL Foundation. I am very grateful to be given the opportunity to be with you this afternoon today. Just a few reminders as we start our session. May I kindly request everyone to please please be on mute, okay? And you may type in the chat any comments or questions that you have. And at certain points in our discussion, our able team from the Aleph group will be handing me and send reading out your comments and questions. When possible, please turn on your camera so we can see your smiles as we move along our discussion. And very importantly, if at any point you cannot hear me or I'm speaking too fast, if you can please make note of that in the chat so that I can make the necessary adjustments. Okay. I would also like to request everyone able to ready your phones or your handy electronic devices because we will have some interactive and fun activities during our session. And more importantly, okay, I trust that everybody will respect everyone's space, voice, stories, because we want to create a safe space for learning and fun. All right. I know that the title of the session is a little bit different from what you are seeing on screen. Um, I have I took the liberty to make it a little more relatable and fun. So we will call our session for today, the vibes and values, the heart of winning with people. Okay. Okay. So let me start with a short story, which I call a human moment. When my youngest daughter was in ninth grade, our morning
Sorry,
drive.
which I want. When my youngest daughter,
Okay. Is there a feedback or a delay in the audio? Because I am hearing one right now. So I will adjust and continue on. So as I was saying, our morning drive to school was a
as I
special
was saying,
time. That's when she'd tell me everything that is not so related, about her friends, her music, her weekend plans, and so on. So one morning, I had a global work call at the exact same time that that I'm bringing her to school. I tried to be sneaky by one earbud on in one ear, half listening to her, and half listening to the work. And then I had to unmute because I needed to speak. The moment I spoke on the call, I saw her face change. She went suddenly silent, and a few seconds later, she softly said, "We don't talk anymore. We don't talk anymore." For those who are familiar, that is a song by Charlie Puth featuring Selena Gomez, released in 2016. That line hit me harder than any feedback I've ever received. And it taught me something I never forgot. Presence is a vibe, attention is a value, and people feel it when it's missing, especially those who matter the most. I know I had a very long introduction already, but to sum it all up, okay, mabuhay from Manila, Philippines. I am Mel Artajos, Senior Consultant and founder of Pathway HR Consulting. I am an HR consultant. I'm a wife and a mom. I am a lifelong learner, and I am a teacher by ambition. And in our session and in our session today, I am looking forward to do what I love most, and that is creating learning moments that becomes yours and not mine. So moving on, why are we talking about relationships today? That's probably one of the questions you have in mind. Today, we are talking about relationships because our relationships with people around us shape our opportunities. This includes opportunities that we have on our sites now, the ones that we are looking forward to within sight, and those that will cross our paths in the future. Building those relationships mean we need to make connection with people, and our vibe shape those connections. Given the importance of relationships, it is vital that we make intentional choices, and those choices are shaped by our values. So as simply put, you can see that it is interconnected, and that is why we are spending time talking about relationship and what builds those relationships in our lives. So, Mel, what are vibes and values? Okay, so I think as we talk more about these two things in our session, it's quite important that we have a common understanding, at least for this session, on what are vibes. Simply put, vibes is the energy you bring. We bring. On the other hand, values are the character that we carry. Okay. So it is at this point now that I would kindly request that you bring out your phones, your tablets, or or your handheld electronic devices, and kindly request you to join our activity in the next slide. Okay. So using the QR code via your phones or portable devices, please type one word that describes what you think is the vibe that people feel from you. And you may also use the survey ID if you're using your computers. Go to the website menti.com and then type the ID number you can see on your screen. So I will wait for a few seconds while you input your responses, and you will see those responses on screen. Please feel free to unmute if you have questions in accessing the QR code or the website. Okay. There is no input on the chat as I am checking now. So please let me know. We are getting 3 responses right now. From the Aleph team, is there somebody who can please try and let me know if there are issues in joining the survey? Okay. All right. I guess we will have to move on from here because there are no responses coming in. A few more seconds, I guess. Okay. So, oh, there. Thank you. Thank you for the one who responded supportive. Or maybe there are a few more coming in. Okay, let's give it a few more seconds. Supportive. That's a really good vibe. I would I would love to be with people who exudes the vibe of being supportive. Engage. I think all of us would agree that when we are with speaking with and are in the company of people who are engaged and shows interest in the conversation, it makes us feel a lot better. Yeah. All right. As the other responses are coming in, I'd like to point out, and for those who are having challenges in giving in their responses, I'm sure you have your own opinion of what vibe people feel from you. Um, what I'd like every one of us to remember is that, okay, whatever we think our vibe is to other people, that is most likely correct. Okay. So, okay, I will move on from here. All right. So what you see on screen is a path. Let's imagine for a second that the path you see here is your own path, one that leads from where you are now to where you want to go in terms of positive opportunities. Okay. The first step we take is strongly influenced but by our vibe or the energy we bring to each and every space we are in and in each and every connection we build. As we take the second step in our journey, our values become front and center. The values we have and keep shows the character we carry in every choice we make. And believe me when I say that as we progress in our journey in life, there will be more and more instances where we need to make where we need to make the right choices. Moving along the path, the next step highlights the action we take that people around us experience when we are with. From the first steps we took on our journey, relationships are built. These are built from the different connections that we make, eventually leads to the opportunities that are open to us or that are presented to us in our journey. So simply put, our vibes, our values is where it all starts. I will pause here because I heard the ping, so I is there issue on chat. I'm checking now. Oh, thank you, Uzar. Please forgive me if I mispronounce your name. Thank you. All right. So, moving along. So the vibe, our vibe, your vibe. shapes how people see you. Your values, our values, guide how you decide. The relationships are shaped, your relationship shape, sorry, where you can go. So put these three together. That is what I call the relationship advantage. And we will dive more into what this relationship advantage is all about. So relationship advantage tells us how people respond to our vibes. So first off, people feel your energy before they hear your words. Okay? I'm sure a lot of us have experienced this, whether as an observant or as the one being observed. Vibes shape first impressions. It might be a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, but it is a reality. Okay. Negative vibes push opportunities away in as much as positive or good vibes invite positive opportunities our way. Okay? Relationship advantage also tells us how values guide our choices. Values guide our decision even when no one is looking. And more often than not, it is when there is no one looking that our true values shine, or where it makes the most difference. It protects us from shortcuts that may damage our future. Again, I am sure a lot of you will agree that the actions we take now can can positively or otherwise influence future situations in our lives. And more often than not, shortcuts does not deliver the results that we intend for ourselves. It is values, not circumstances, that decides one's direction. Circumstances in life are more often than not beyond our control. However, the values that we bring into the different circumstances we are in, okay, allows us to decide the direction that we're going to take moving forward. The relationship advantage also tells us how relationship opens doors. Okay? Good relationships amplify your talent and your visibility. Right people accelerates your growth and wrong ones derail it. And this is something very, the third one is something that's very prevalent in the culture here in my country. Okay, who knows who? Okay. Um, However, I'd like to add something there because who knows who matters, yes, but how they know you matters even more. Okay. I will pause here because the next slide is more of an activity, and I will be checking now from the Aleph team if there are questions or comments that we need to take. Thank you so much, Uzar. Thank you for the comments. All right. Okay. I'd like all of us to take a few seconds, all right, to make a SWOT. It's a very simple tool, which some of you might be familiar with, and some of you might be seeing for the first time. So it is a quadrant. wherein we make a self-assessment of our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in relation to the relationship advantage. So, what do we think are our strengths? What are we doing well, and what are the good and our good qualities? On the second quadrant, let's try and list down weaknesses. So, what do I need to improve? What do others do better than me? Okay. On the lower quadrant, we have O, which are opportunities. What are my goals? How can my goals be improved? And the last quadrant refers to threats. What are the blockers I am facing at the moment? And what are the factors outside of my control? You do not need to submit anything. This is really a self-reflection I want us to do. And I will be sharing this with the Aleph team that who can in turn share this with you so you can work on this on your own free time. But I want us to be aware that there is such a tool, a very simple tool that we can use reflecting on how we are or where we are in terms of the important things on building relationships. Okay, I will check again for comments. All right. There is a while most of you are, I hope, are putting together your notes on the SWOT. Um, there is a question in there is a question pertaining to um um keeping along people or friends that speak negative things behind you. All right. The question is, do we keep them? All right. My answer would be it is very much dependent on the circumstances of the situation. And when I say circumstances, I refer to the frequency. Is this the first time it happened? Is it a repeating pattern? Okay. Another circumstance to be considered is um, how deep and how strong was the relationship or the friendship prior to those instances. And I would also suggest a bit of a reflection on what could have led the person to do such acts, because in self-reflecting it is possible for us to see that one reason why certain actions are done is because we ourselves have prevented it. So in the specific example or in the specific question, it could be that the person have tried to provide us feedback. Unfortunately, one reason or another, the person felt that I am not open to the feedback being given to me, and therefore the person strongly feels that he or she needs to find another way to get the message across. I am not saying that it is true for everybody. All I'm saying is we could use some self-reflection in certain circumstances. So there's no straight answer, unfortunately, because I believe it's very much driven by the circumstances surrounding the situation. All right. So I hope you have started on your SWOT, and I hope the SWOT, your self your self reflection on SWOT, will help you see where you can improve further. Okay. The heart of winning with people. Okay. Um, Research showed that uh, the three items shown on screen uh, provides us with opportunities as we move further in our journey. And I'm referring to self-awareness, empathy, and trust. Okay. We'll go through that one by one. So, according to Daniel Goldman of Harvard, self-awareness is the foundation of emotional intelligence and is the strongest predictor of effective leadership. So, self-awareness is understanding how our thoughts, emotions, and behavior influence the way people experience us. Okay? When we know our vibe, we know the energy, the tone, and the patterns that we bring into the spaces and the conversation, we can adjust it intentionally and show up in ways that build connection instead of friction. Foundation of emotional intelligence and the strongest predictor of effective leadership, as mentioned earlier. Okay. Okay. Moving on. The second pillar is empathy. Okay. It is understanding what others feel, see things from their perspective, and respond with care and clarity. Okay. I'd like to share another story. As you can see, I love sharing. And on this one I hope you can um, learn from my own learnings and be find it useful in your own journey. Okay. So I went back to graduate school. I went back to school for graduate studies at the age of 44, which means I'm a lot older than 44 now. You don't need to calculate. I'm already telling you. I'm a lot older than 44 years old. At that time, I was already a mom of two, one in the university and another one in junior high. I have been an HR head for more than 12 years, and my life was pretty much structured, predictable, and honestly quite comfortable. I had a team that works with me at work in the office. I had systems, I had support, and I had efficiency. And then I made a choice. I decided to pursue my master's degree not because of the title, but because I wanted to model two things for my daughters. Number one, education is ageless. Number two, you should always pursue what you truly love. But here's the twist. When I took my graduate studies, which is MA in education, it was not aligned with my bachelor's degree. So the school required me to take six undergraduate subjects. What does that mean? It means that I suddenly became classmates with people the same age as my eldest daughter. And this is where the comedy begins. Okay. As you can imagine, there are several occasions when I walked into the classroom and my classmates greeted me, "Good morning, ma'am." As if I was the professor. No, I wasn't. I would I would be standing there holding my stuff, smiling and thinking, "No, guys, I'm your classmate. I'm here to learn too." It was funny, but it was also humbling because for the first time in decades, I was in an environment where I had no staff, I had no assistants, no predictable systems, no corporate efficiency, no one to run errands for me. Everything I was used to was gone. And this is where self awareness kicked in. I became very aware of the comfort I had in my corporate life and how that comfort did not exist at all in the academic world I choose to enter. That awareness helped me adjust, it helped me accept, and it helped me thrive. More importantly, it opened the door for me to understand empathy. Because once I understood my own comfort, I also understood why some of my classmates struggled, why some don't have the resources I had, some didn't have the skills I built over the decades, why most professors are under resourced and understaffed,
Resources understand.
why some systems were slow or inefficient. In my world was not their world. And instead of judging, I learned to appreciate. Instead of complaining, I chose to learn and understand. Instead of resisting, I learned to adapt. Those 3 years in grad school became one of the most growth-filled seasons of my life. Not because, not only because of the academics, but because the environment forced me to practice self-awareness and empathy every single day. So the heart of that long story is that
Long story is that
self-awareness helps us understand ourselves. Empathy helps us understand others.
us understand other.
Together, they help us grow with grace. Okay. The last pillar is actually trust. Okay. Trust is built when your words, your actions, and values align consistently over time. According to Stephen Covey's research, trust accelerates results, reduces friction, and strengthens relationship. It is built through consistency and reliability. As an HR professional, it is incumbent upon the role or that role that one gets privy to corporate and personal confidential information. What I learned, what I learned is that the concept of trust is universal and respected across cultures globally. Working with executives and people leaders of different race, ethnicity, and faith, I was able to establish a healthy boundary of providing information and support needed by the business without compromising sensitive and personal information entrusted to me by individuals. In a very recent, in a very recent, sorry, in a very recent conversation I had with one of my clients. There you go. Uh, I I had to respectfully but firmly explain to her that the information we need to improve the work situation of one team was shared by a credible individual whose name and identity I don't need to divulge because the information is already there. And because by doing so, I will break the trust that the person has given. Fortunately, as in other situation, the leader understood and thank me for the information, and we worked together in putting together. We worked together on the action needed by the situation. All right. I will pause here because there's another activity coming up. I will be checking the chat if there's any questions I can take at the moment. Okay. All right. There's a question about a relationship where the weaknesses are being used and if that should be kept. Um, the person in that relationship would be the better judge of whether to stay or to go. But my general rule there is whenever you feel that you are being taken advantage of, your instinct would most likely be correct. And based on that, I suggest that you take the necessary action. All right. Experience reviewed CVs. Yes, I have I have several of those. Um, what makes a CV stand out? All right. Important qualities. Okay. Um, I I would refer you to the question on the CV that stands out. I would refer you to the numerous information available now on how to make an effective resume or CV. Um, but one small tip would be to make your CV concise and true to what you are as an individual and as a professional. What I look for during an interview, I normally look for behaviors and character because as my general rule, skills can be taught, but character and behavior is something that's built over time. All right. Okay. I will proceed. Um, there is another survey that I have for you guys. I hope this time it works, and I do hope you can bring out your phones and participate. So it is loading from my end now. Okay. Once you scan this QR code, you will see a black dot, and that is the pin. So I will not know who answered what. So this is going to be anonymous. So from your own self-assessment, um, which of the three pillars do you think you should need to develop further? So please drop a pin and we will see how this group thinks in terms of further developing the important pillars of winning with people. Okay. Oh, thank you. Now we have self-awareness. Trust is there before, yeah, um, earlier on. So thank you for the one who responded self-awareness. Any other pins dropping in anytime soon? I'll give you a few more seconds. Okay. All right. So as we continue on reflecting, what pillars we would like to develop further? I'd like us to think of it this way. Okay. In football, okay, in the season of FIFA that we are in now, in football, practice turns instinct into excellence. Okay. In life, practice turns self-awareness, empathy, and trust into consciousness. So if you want these three pillars to become part of who we are, we need to practice them, and we need to practice them on purpose. All right, I will pause here for questions while I switch decks because I need to pull up another deck. A left team, would there be any questions that you've gathered while I change slides, please? No, none.
There's a question in the chat session. Can we take it now?
Yes, we can take one question now, sir, while I pull up the next file, please.
All right.
Thank you.
So somebody is asking, um, do you still tag along with people who you call your friends that speak negative things behind you?
Right. Thank you. I believe, sir, I have taken up that question earlier on. Yeah. Please let me know when you can see my slide.
So have you also taken the second question? If I'm in a relationship and they keep using my weakness, should I keep it or should I run away?
Yes, sir. We have also taken that question already. So I will pause the question, sir, here for now, so we can continue on. I'm running a little bit over time in terms of the allocated time. Thank you so
All
much.
right, all right, we can go ahead then.
Thank you. All right, we're on the final leg, and I'd just like to mention the we are all very conscious about sustainability, be it in our environment and where we thrive, right? I'd like you to overlay that sustainability concept, okay, in our relationship. Okay, sustainable action builds self-awareness. We were talking about practice earlier on, right? Okay. Long-term relationship. Attributes of environment is the and it becomes part of who you are. If you practice the right things, then it creates the environment around you to become positive enough for you to propel you forward to where you are going. Okay. All right. I have prepared a checklist that I will also share with with the participants in this session through the ALEF team, of course. It's a very simple checklist. Things that happen every day, things that we come across daily, and things that I believe, if we consciously practice, would allow us to build the three pillars necessary for us to create positive relationships. Okay. Um, in closing, right? In Nigeria, life moves fast. Opportunities move fast. But growth doesn't have to be loud. It just needs to be consistent. If we practice our vibe, protect our values, and build relationships, we will create a future that feels like ours, a future that feels like yours. So with this, I am closing the session, and I will be taking in other questions apart from the ones in the chat, because um I have taken those already. So if you do have more other questions that are not in the chat, I am checking now. There you go. Please feel free to type it in. And do you trust people on the basis of relationship you had with them, or randomly trust people to boost their morale? All right. Um, in my experience, okay, in my experience, uh, trust is not automatic, even with people that I've had relationship for years, especially if those relationships are not positive, right? So if the pattern of the relationship for a certain individuals show that it is not something that I would want to keep with me, then I obviously will not put trust in the person or in the relationship. Now, at any point, again, this is based on experience, at any point, um, trust is supposed to be something earned and not given freely, to make anybody feel good or feel important. I hope I provided the answer to that question. Right. The the best way to build relationship, be it let's focus on the professional setting, because that was the question. The best way to build good professional relationship um is to be trustworthy. Do what you say, okay, and do what you say, and say what you do. People see through lies, be it immediate or afterwards. So once that doubt is casted upon anybody, it's quite difficult to build any relationship. So again, we start with um, self-awareness. We bring in empathy, and then we build trust. HR during candidates are what we watching. Rejecting candidates. Oh, that's heartbreaking. During interview. Okay. There are there are a lot of experiences during interview. But I guess the focus of the question is on interviews that resulted to rejection. Um, it is always please believe me when I tell you that HR folks are still people. Okay? So whenever there are negative news that needs to be, or unpleasant news that needs to be communicated across, um, the HR person feels that as well. So it is not a good feeling to be telling somebody that, oh, I'm sorry you're not hired, or I'm sorry you did not make it. Okay. And the general basis for that is really on the qualification, right? The fit of the person to the job and to the culture of the organization that he or she is being considered for. Now, and again, this is my personal view. Right? Um, Please look at any and all rejection as a redirection rather than a blockage. Okay. So in my personal experience, there are several instances where I felt really bad that things did not come or happen the way I am expecting them. And then looking at those situations now, I I can't help but be thankful because those things that I felt bad about in the past actually brought me something better. All right. So those are all the questions in the chat group. I hope I was able to make good use of your time this afternoon, and I hope that you were able to pick up something that you find useful as we move forward. And as promised, I will be sharing with the Aleph team a copy handout that you can refer to together with the checklist that you can use in your daily activities. And again, I would like to thank Ayo and Aleph for this opportunity. It is a wonderful opportunity to be speaking to all 28 of you here, and I wish you all the best in your endeavors.